afternoon everyone. Today we'll be starting with the subject IC technology. Okay. Moving on to the first slide, introduction to IC technology. Okay, IC technology is basically a subject wherein we will be basically studying the fabrication process of your IC. It is in your domain electronic circuits and system design. This subject is aiming at providing you a detailed fabrication process for your IC design. Okay, so the subject is linked with your basic subjects of SEM 3, SEM 4. So in SEM 3 and SEM 4 you will have studied basic electronics. Okay, so it is basically linking to that particular subject, wherein you all have studied the different types of ICs, you all have studied the different applications of different ICs, and here you all will be basically seeing at how a particular IC is fabricated. So this is a chapter detailing, wherein the first chapter is basically a chapter for crystal growth, silicon crystal growth, your wafer preparation, that is you will be preparing a silicon wafer, and the different fabrication for VLSI technology. In that, the first topic you have is semiconductor manufacturing, and the second topic is semiconductor substrate. The objective of studying this subject is it provides insight to the manufacturing process of an IC and substrate growth of semiconductor. Outcome, understand the different crystal growth methods. Okay. Now when I start with fabrication of IC, basically first what do I mean by IC? It is nothing but integrated circuits. Okay. Now when I say integrated circuits, this circuit is nothing but it is consisting of different types of transistors. So you have three basic methods of integration technologies, wherein the first IC which was manufactured was nothing but a SSI integrated IC, that means a small system integration, wherein the number of transistors integrated onto the particular chip was less than 10 transistors. Okay, slowly and gradually it increased to 100, wherein you have a medium scale integration technology, wherein the number of components on a single chip varies from 10 to 100. Now as your components increase on an IC, you are supposed to go through some simulation and circuit logic simulation and circuit simulation techniques. Okay, so that was quite possible when we were into medium scale integration technology. Next came into the large scale integration technology, wherein you have 1000 components on a single chip. So as you go on to large scale integration technology, LSI and VLSI, what happened is your design processes started getting complex. So for that you need some electronic design automation tools for circuit and logic simulation techniques. Next, after LSI you have the next as VLSI. Okay, wherein again as VLSI includes 10,000 chips, 10,000 components on a single chip. So but obviously circuits started getting complex. You require some computer aided techniques for your verification and design of the system, as well as you also require some computer programs for automatic casing and routing of the signal. Okay, so now we'll first check on how a IC is made, and a basic IC is going to consist of some silicon substrate. Okay, and that silicon substrate is basically in its pure form. Silicon is not very useful. Instead we merge silicon with some impurities. We dope it, which is known as doping. We dope it with some impurities, either pentavalent impurities or trivalent impurities, to make it a N-type silicon or a P-type silicon semiconductor. Okay, so the first method for your crystal growth, you have it as Skolasky method. You have two different methods to grow the crystals. You have Skolasky method and you have a float zone technique. Now what do you mean by Skolasky method is? This particular method is also known as Skolasky technique or Skolasky process. It is a method wherein you grow a single crystal of semiconductor, single crystal of silicon, okay, or else you grow some crystals of metals, salts, or some gemstones. Okay, it is named after a scientist, Jens Kolarski. Okay, now how is this particular method going to take place? What do you have is you have your silicon substrate, you have your silicon, okay, and you melt that silicon in at a high temperature in a furnace, somewhere above 1500. So it is a high purity silicon which is melted in a crucible at 1425 degrees centigrade. Okay, next, to make this particular silicon a n-type silicon or a p-type silicon, you dope it once with some impurities. Either you dope it with trivalent impurities or you dope it with pentavalent impurities to change the electronic properties of that particular silicon so that it behaves as a p-type silicon or a n-type silicon. Next, after this particular solution is melted in your crucible, what you do is you have a precisely oriented rod mounted seed crystal which you dip into the molten silicon. Okay, and what do you do is you control the temperature gradient, rate of pulling and speed of rotation of that particular crystal out from the crucible. Okay, this process is normally performed in an inert atmosphere wherein you have some inert gas such as argon. Okay, so next, if you check here, this is nothing but your heating coil, your crucible, your seed rod. Okay, and you are just taking, you are just pulling the seed rod, rotating the seed rod in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. As you rotate the seed rod in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, what is going to happen is uh, you will get a crystal out of it. So this is nothing but one method. It is known as Kolarski method to go for your seed crystal, to go for your crystal growth. The references, these are the list of references, okay, which you can use for this particular process.